everybody? It is I, Zon Coco, bringing you an opinion video. My goodness, a video so close to another video? What is this? Is this October? No, it's just I had some time and I had some things that I wanted to talk about. And actually, this video, I wanted to talk about it months ago. However, the video that I made, I just didn't like how it turned out. And you know, you get the second guessing as of, does anyone really want to hear what I say? And now that the controversy went down and came back up, I said, fuck, I don't care what you think. I care what I think. Not exactly that. It's like, I don't care if no one watches this video. I'm going to put it out anyways because that's just what I want to do. I got to just start doing that more often. I got to stop double thinking, second guessing myself when I make a video and just put it out and not go, well, does anyone want to watch this? So anyways, but that's beside the point. So what am I talking about? Well, of course, you probably read the title of this video, and I'm talking about the new Ghostbusters movie. Yes, I know, a few months ago, the new Ghostbusters movie trailer dropped, and everyone hated it, because it was bad. It was really bad. I mean, first they had the beginning where they kind of linked it to the original Ghostbuster, even though this is supposed to be a complete reboot, standalone. Can't even reference that because it's not, it's supposed to be its own entity. So it kind of gave you a false feeling that, hey, maybe they are connecting it with the original. That would be great, you know, have like sort of a mentorship. The old guard passing a torch to the new guard. But no, it wasn't like that. And then, of course, you had the horrible ghosts in Ghostbusters. They just, they looked horrible. They were too CG. I mean, just too much CGI. They didn't really look ethereal or see-through at all. I mean, just like, the effects in the original Ghostbusters were great. They were spot on. And they stand up today and they just make these look fake-ass shit. I mean, it's ghosts, I guess. How do we know how they really look? But they're like all bright color and all this stuff. It really just looked like some haunted mansion bullshit. And then, of course, the humor in the trailer was so juvenile and stupid and didn't feel like any kind of flow. The characters just didn't feel like they were even characters. It was just a failure on all parts. And then, of course, Sony released another trailer, which was definitely light years better, but I think the damage was done. It was one of the most disliked movie trailers on YouTube. I mean, sure, it's not Infinite Warfare level of dislikes, but you know, that's a whole nother thing. So, of course, originally, all the social justice assholes out there were pissed off because, of course, the only reason anyone could not like this movie was because it was an all-female cast, and, you know, America is just sexist against women. We're such bigots against women, you know. We keep them enslaved all day. We don't give them any rights. They don't have the right to vote. They don't have the right to get a job or buy their own property or, you know, none of that stuff, man. They are chained to the kitchen. Yeah, I mean, I got mine up in the kitchen right now. No, I don't. No. Anyways, so after a while, that sort of died down. The SJAs, the social justice assholes, found a new thing to get offended by and focus on, and it sort of quietly just went away. Until recently, James Rolfe, otherwise known as the Angry Video Game Nerd, made a video telling people why he chose not to do a review or even see the new Ghostbusters movie. And it's a kind of an interesting video. You should probably go check it out. But this kind of reawoken the beast, because here we have a pretty big YouTuber. I mean, he's pretty famous in his own right. I mean, he doesn't do movie reviews as much as he does with video games, but he does, and it's usually horror movie, B-movie type stuff. So Ghostbusters kind of not in the wheelhouse, even though I guess you could kind of say horror comedy. But anyways, he got a lot of flack because, of course, he doesn't like Ghostbusters because it's an all-female cast. I mean, seriously, I think we all should unite, social justice assholes and regular guys, in condemning Ghostbusters because think about it. when you see the one black character in that movie is not a scientist, does not have a PhD, and is your stereotypical loud black woman, loud angry black woman. I don't know what that one scene is like. I don't know if it's a woman thing or a black thing, but I'm pissed off. I mean, how much more stereotypical can you get? You know, they can't give her a degree. I mean, when you think about Ernie Hudson's performance, he was like the everyman. He was, you know, not loud. I mean, he was like probably the most relatable character there next to Bill Murray, even though Bill Murray was still supposedly a PhD guy. But, you know, he was like, God, I'm in this world of ghosts and stuff. I'm just here to get a paycheck. I need a job. And these guys were hiring, and he kind of brings that average Joe perspective to the whole mix between the oversexed nerd Bill Murray and the two nerds, I guess you call the two nerds of Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. So, yeah, you don't even get any of that. You don't feel any of that, at least from the trailers. You don't feel any of that, like, sort of character building in there. And plus, like, again, she's just like a stereotype. She's just one-dimensional. As a black woman, she's going to have to be loud and obnoxious, and she's got to work at the subway because, you know, she can't be a scientist. No one would believe it, right? Yeah, anyways. So, I mean, I know that there was like a little stink about that, but I haven't really heard anything much more about it because that's not as important as the bigger issue of it's an all-women cast. And it's getting trounced with dislikes, and it's because it's got to be sexism and misogyny, because no one can have a valid reason for not liking the trailer and to think that this movie may be a disaster and horrible and just not good. I mean, you know, all those things that I talked to you about the trailer, none of those matter because I'm a big sexist bigot. That's basically what it is. The only reason I don't like the movie is because it's all women. If it was all white men, I would have been all over it and said, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it on the first day. I'm going to watch it 15 times in a row, which is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. But, you know, that's the problem with social justice assholes. You can't argue with them. You can't get into conversation with them because they don't want to hear opposing views, because in their mind, their view is the only acceptable view, and all other views are so tainted with evil and insanity and crazy and just blood baby eating. I don't know. I lost where I was going with there. Just so wrong that it shouldn't even see the light of day. And that how could any sane, good human being disagree with what they say? And that's the problem. So you point out the problems with this, and they're like, oh, those aren't problems, you're nitpicking, you're just saying it as some excuse to excuse your bigotry, your sexism, which is also just completely bullshit. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who probably don't like it because it's an all-female cast, and a lot of those probably feel that way because it seems like it was a studio decision, not like a normal blossoming of the creative process, but just a studio decision to pander, to pander. And then when you do that, you know, people get pissed because they don't necessarily like it when you're pandering to certain demographics, especially if those demographics are loudmouth bigots themselves, which the whole social justice asshole movement is. They're a bunch of bigots. It's their way or no way, which is the definition of bigotry. They are racist, sexist, and some of the most intolerant people. They don't want diversity of thought. They don't want diversity. They want rigid conformity to their ideals. Anyways, so I got a little off on there, but you kind of see my opinion on the thing. Just because one guy who has got good reasons to not think that this movie is going to be good, just saying, look, I'm just not going to watch it, so don't expect a review from me. I don't care. He probably has people say, hey, why don't you review this? Are you going to review this? He probably got like thousands of messages about it. And he said, look, I have just no interest in watching this film. It just doesn't look good. And honestly, the original Ghostbusters is a special film. It is one of the greatest comedies of all time. Some things you just can't do. You can't redo. You can add on, but you can't redo. And this is sort of like a redo because they're not adding on. This isn't Ghostbusters 3. This is supposed to restart the whole thing. And it just feels disrespectful to the original material because it's so great and it's so beloved. I mean, look, like they made remakes of Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. Even though I liked the Friday the 13th remake, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was just angering because those are just icons of horror. They are special. They are universally known. And to take Freddy Krueger and just lose the entire character, you know, just was they pissed me off. It was like, this is fucking nuts. This is a joke. This is a disgrace. People should be fired. People should be driven out of Hollywood because of this shit. And I think on a much larger scale, because these are horror movies, and horror movies, yes, they get a large audience, but not like Ghostbusters, just a huge audience. People of all ages. And it's like almost, you know, not quite to the level, but it would be like remaking Star Wars. Episode 7, you know, aside, it would be like remaking Star Wars or Casablanca or any kind of like these iconic, massive. I mean, they remade Psycho. Remember that? That was a disaster. So we have all this precedent that, you know, is not going to go really well. And these movies are so special. I mean, that's why, you know, side note, Evil Dead, the Evil Dead remake, like the first Evil Dead, yes, it's special part. It's not as high up and revered as Evil Dead 2. Now, if they would have made a remake of Evil Dead, but just make it the remake of Evil Dead 2, then I could see some problems happening. But since they were kind of creating their own separate thing, and they wanted to, I think originally they wanted to tie it in with the original Evil Dead series and create like the second Evil Dead series and continue on the old Evil Dead series with Evil Dead 4 or Army of Darkness 2 or whatever, and then have those two merge, but I guess that just never worked out, or maybe it's still in the works, I don't know. So, but going back, you know, it's a part of people's lives and childhood, and you're going to be just fucking with it by doing this. Sure, there's going to be a backlash. There's going to be people who are like, I'm never going to watch this because it looks like it's not even going to do any justice to the original, because the original was a comedy. It had scary moments, but it appealed to all ages. It appealed to kids, it appealed to adults. I mean, it was really an adult film, you know, with the comedy and some of the jokes. I mean, the blowjob ghost. Come on. I mean, what's the new one gonna have? A cunnilingus ghost? Is there gonna be like a cunnilingus ghost? I don't know. I don't know if you can even go there now and remain PG or PG-13. I don't know, but I mean, maybe that's not a scene I want to see. Elizabeth McCarthy getting. Yeah, maybe I don't want to see that. But anyways, there's nothing I have anything against Melissa McCarthy. I enjoyed the movie Spy. I thought that movie was really funny. The second half of that movie just took off and just was awesome. But to me, you had all this kind of build-up because, I don't know, it was like the last 10 years or at least the last 5 years. There was this sort of momentum behind Ghostbusters 3. Dan Aykroyd was just trying to get it done, and you were getting kind of excited because you hear all these things like, oh, it's probably gonna do it. You know, all they need to do is get Bill Murray. Bill Murray, you know, he's like, okay, maybe I'll do it. Maybe if I'm as a ghost. So you got all this excitement, and then Harold Ramis passes away, and it, like, the whole thing died. It was like dead, and you were really disappointed. But then you hear, well, nope, they're gonna go forward with it. And they're going to go with like new Ghostbusters, and you're like, okay, fine, yeah, but we can still do it tastefully. We can pass the torch, and then when you find out it was going to be a straight up reboot, that's when you went. That's when you started thinking, this doesn't sound good. A reboot? No, I don't know. Okay, so we'll wait for the cast. We'll wait for the cast. See if they get like a really good cast comedians, and then they go, it's going to be, you know, all female cast, and then that was the second because, you know, okay, how much is this actually, you know, part of the creative process, or is this studio involvement going like, we've got a Ghostbusters movie, we've got the ball rolling, we got to make this movie, so, but, you know, we don't have anything good going, so hey, let's put in a gimmick. And that is a gimmick. Yes, it is a gimmick. It is a gimmick, especially nowadays, because it just, with all the bitching and complaining about, oh, we need more women this, more women that, more minorities this. Anytime that it does happen, you start to wonder if it's because gimmick or actually part of the story. I mean, like, just offside, the whole Magnificent Seven reboot, trailer, remake, you know, having Denzel Washington as the leader guy. I mean, I love Denzel Washington, and I'm definitely going to watch that movie because I love Seven Samurai. I like the Magnificent Seven. So I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm not bothered by him being in the lead. What bothers me is that it seems like they did it because, you know, look at us, man. We are, you know, creating a diverse cast for diversity's sake, not because the casting director went, these are the best people for the job. I'm not saying Denzel is not the best person. Denzel is awesome. Denzel Washington, awesome. Awesome. I don't think there was a single movie that he's made that I have not enjoyed, though I have not seen all his movies. But still, I'm just saying, you know, that stuff is in the back of the head. Like the whole Star Wars Rogue One trailer. One of the first comments I saw on YouTube was like, oh, another strong female character. Because you've gotten to the point where the social justice assholes have ruined so much that it feels like any time that happens, it's not natural. It's like some forced, pushed out change. I mean, think about it. Like, Captain America is now Hydra, and the internet wants him to have a boyfriend. So you want to take Captain America and turn him into a gay Hydra agent. I mean, that is not his character. It feels like, what the hell are you doing? But, rolling back. So, even then we're like, okay, fine. Let's wait till the trailer. Let's see what the trailer is. Because I was still interested in watching this film. And then the trailer happened, and it was like the worst case scenario. We all thought our nightmares came true watching that trailer. It was horrible. And we went, okay, you know what? That's third strike. And so a lot of us were like, fuck it, done. We're done. No, we're not going to watch this movie. I still want to watch the movie. I want to give it a chance because they might be able to do it. Maybe it was just a bad trailer. Maybe, you know, they quick do some reshoots, some re-editing. I don't know. So I'm still curious. I'm still gonna kind of see what the reviews are for the film, see what it is, and probably watch it on a matinee or a value because I do want to see. I want to see how they do it. See if it's as bad as it may become, and then who knows? I'll tell you about it. You know, you don't need James Rolfe to tell you about it. I'll tell you about it. I will be honest about it. None of this political correct bullshit. I will tell you straight up whether or not we were right to be like really concerned and really angry about this, or it wasn't that bad. I don't know. I'm going to have lower expectations and that might sway me one way or another. But still, I thought I should talk to you about Ghostbusters because I wanted to talk about Ghostbusters. I've been wanting to talk Ghostbusters a couple months ago, but, you know, things happen. So, anyways, this long video, make the, I don't even know what I was saying. It's like, so I was just saying that this is a long video. I thank you for anyone who's still watching. Excelsior! And hopefully you can share in your comments, what do you think about the new Ghostbusters movie? Did you like any of the trailers? I thought the second one was way better and still not great, and whether or not you think you should, you're going to be watching it, whether you're going to wait for it to go on Netflix or something, and whether you think that all the hate is because it's just bad, or are we all just racist, sexist bigots, and we just don't know it. I mean, everyone's got some racism and sexism. I mean, we are compartmental beings. We like to compartmentalize and classify things. I mean, like the genus and species and all that stuff. Like, you know, we're like cataloging things and we like grouping things. So, and sometimes we identify group identity and stuff like that, and we feel that our group is always better than some other group because we're part of that group. And if we're not the best, then that means you're not the best, and it means you're kind of bad, right? So yeah, a lot of times you see that with fandoms and sports teams and stuff like that. So we're not always rational about these things. But anyways, so tell me what you think. Leave a message in the comments, and you guys have a great, great day, and I will see you later. Stay sexy. Yeah.